Broncos Country, as crazy as it sounds, in just over a week, the Broncos will be taking the field in a preseason game, live preseason game against the San Francisco 49ers in Santa Clara. We got joint practice next week and then the game on Saturday. And it got me thinking, man, which players do I want to see or should we collectively want to see play the most, get as many reps as they possibly can in the games? Because it's going to be very, very important for some of these players to really give themselves a chance to shine. We're going to go through that, and I'd love to know what you guys think down below in the comments. Like and subscribe if you're not already, guys. And let's get the ball rolling on this, man. It's going to be a fun episode. So I would say at number 5, it is the Grammy Award-winning rapper himself on TikTok rappers, Deari Matthysse. We already know, man, this has been a player that's kind of been polarizing in Broncos country. He's a third-round pick a few years ago, and he's shown flashes of being a really good player, and he's shown flashes of being a terrible player and just boneheaded type of guy. I think it's going to be a very important offseason for him, but I want to see him play a lot in this preseason, really to see how does he respond to playing a lot in the preseason and just to really see what you got. Because like I said, he's got the talent and you've seen some good things. It's a very, very deep room. I think the odds are stacked against him, pretty much given how deep we are at the cornerback position. That being said, there's benefits to him playing a lot. Firstly, it's going to give him a chance to turn some heads and maybe earn the 52nd, 53rd spot. If he can play special teams, you never know. But it can also put him on display for other teams. If maybe somebody is on the lookout for a player like Deari Matthysse that they can get cheap, a super late round pick or a pick swap, they want to make a trade, you never know. But you give him an opportunity to shine, whether it's for the Broncos or for somebody else. So my number 5 player is going to be Deari Matthysse. And like I said, I think you don't want to see the other guy. You don't want to see Pat Surtain play a lot. You don't got to see Riley Moss play. Sure, you want to get Jahdae Barron, his feet wet, but you don't want to see him play a lot. And Chris Abrams-Drain even. So I'd like to see a lot of these other corners because there's going to be one guy that I think is going to make this team among a group of like 4 or 5 other dudes. Mario Goodrich, a lot of those, Devin Key maybe, even though he plays a little bit more safety, he's kind of a hybrid. A lot of these lower end of the roster guys that we have. So Deari Matthysse earns my number 5 spot for this. Number 4, and people can argue that you have him higher, but I'm going to have him right here, and that is my guy, Aric Edwards. It's been a pretty rough training camp up to this point. I guess today he shined a little bit. He started to show a little bit of life. But Aric Edwards needs to play a lot in this preseason, man. He is fighting for his life right now in the NFL. We know he was a 5th-round pick last year, but you take R.J. Harvey in the 2nd, you sign J.K. Dobbins, and then, you got Tyler Bidet, who is loved by the coach and got a lot more versatility. You got Julian McLaughlin, who's loved among the coaching staff, brings a unique skill set. It's a hardworking dude. He's going to have to show something, and he's someone that needs to have a lot of reps. I want to see him get a lot of carries. I want to see if he gets better as the game goes on, and he better shine and do very, very well against the 2nd, 3rd, 4th teamers of all the teams we play in the preseason, but specifically against the San Francisco 49ers next week. In addition to that, man, I want to see him get a lot of pass pro reps. How is he blocking? How is he pass protecting? How is he reading it? How is he taking that part of his game? And then can he be sneaky good as a receiver? You've seen glimpses of it at Notre Dame. He has good hands. He just doesn't get the opportunity to do it a lot. But Aric Edwards, it is showtime or go time for you, my man. So let's see how he responds. He is my number 4 player that I think should get the most amount of reps in preseason. Let me know what you guys think so far on my list down below. As we get into number 3, and that is my guy, Frank Crumb. I haven't really heard anything about him so far in camp as the pass have come on. You're not going to know too much because it's not like these pass rushers are going to go all out or they're going to be very, very physical with their own teammates. But not hearing something is not necessarily a bad thing for Frank Crumb, who, man, they kept him on the roster last year because they said he's got a ridiculous amount of talent, especially his strength in the run game. But as a pass blocker, it was not pretty. It was very bad. He was on his ass a lot. And somebody that really needed to utilize his rookie season to get stronger, to work on his technique. I'm excited to see the improvements. You saw it, man. Luke Wattenberg, who is now our starting center, was horrible as a rookie. It was not good. in preseason, he was consistently getting put on his ass by guys that I don't even think continued playing in the league at any point. He was getting his ass beat. Comes back his second season, and you really saw him take that leap. He was much better in his second year in the preseason. Played a little bit here and there during the regular season. And then what do you know? Continues to ascend, and he's our starting center who played very well last year. Frank Crumb, it's a huge year for you. I think the Broncos coaching staff has high expectations for him. I think he's somebody that they're going to look at and say, you know what? He's going to be our potential future left tackle. Alex Palczewski's got the right side taken care of. He might not be ready this year, which might have Matt Pert, be around for another season. But Frank Crumb, I'm excited. Anytime you get a lineman that's got a ridiculous amount of talent, you like to see what he can do. I think Frank Crumb needs to play a lot, and I hope to see him play a lot. So he earns my number 3 spot. My number 2 guy that I want to see play a lot in this preseason, and that is my guy, Lavel Bailey, who I've been high on up to this point. He's got a tremendous opportunity ahead of him, and it comes at the cause of other guys getting hurt, which is very unfortunate, right? With Drew Sanders going down, which broke my heart, right? And then Alex Singleton broke his thumb. He's only going to miss a week, but I don't really care to see Alex Singleton much in the preseason. Why risk further injury? We know exactly the kind of player that he can be, right? Maybe you get a little bit of rust off, go out there and hit some guys. Fine. I get that. But Lavel Bailey needs to earn it a lot, whether it's because he's going to be our starter or he's going to be a very key backup to a inside linebacker room that's very injury prone. I want to see Lavel Bailey out there getting more reps. He was this preseason darling last year. I want to see if he can take a next step, and I'd like to see him play against the 1s and the 2s. But he's someone that I think get a lot of reps, get as much of a look as you can, because if it's not going to be Lavel, you're going to roll with Singleton, fine. But if it's not going to be any one of those guys, you might have to look elsewhere. But he deserves a chance. Karine Reed deserves a chance as well. JB Brown deserves a chance. But I want to see Lavel Bailey play a lot. Special teams, on defense, everywhere. He's my number 2. And that leaves it for my number 1 player. I don't think that this is really an argument. This player needs to get as many reps as he possibly can. And that is the guy, Caleb Lohner. And it's for obvious reasons, man. I Googled his name. I couldn't even really find a picture of him in football pads until like the second page. He's a basketball player. He's caught 4 balls in college. He had 53 snaps or whatever it was in college. But 4 catches, 4 touchdowns. So extremely raw. I've said this ad nauseum. He just learned how to put on football pants last year, right? And he's made some plays in camp. He's got a crazy amount of talent, no doubt about it. But he needs a lot of reps. I don't care if he's out there blocking and he's getting his ass beaten blocking. Give him the reps. Let him get better. I want to see what he can do catching the football as well. But man, oh man, does he need it. He got 50-something snaps in college. He needs to get quadruple that in just the preseason. I think it's very, very important for him. And for his confidence and for getting, for feeling like he can go out there and compete at the highest level, get the rust off, but also a lot of good learning tape. He seems, by all accounts, he seems like a guy that really is embracing taking on football and is a really quick learner. And you can't be a quick learner. You can't not be a quick learner and just make a transition in college from basketball and not just, make plays in college. I mean, 4 catches, 4 touchdowns, but enough to be put on the radar to get drafted by an NFL team with such minimal experience. Obviously, there's something there. I want to see it. No doubt about it. And I think he just needs a whole bunch of reps in the preseason, man. It's going to be huge. The joint practices are going to be important for him too, but I want to see him out there in pads in preseason, man. I think that's my list. So let's recap it. We got Deari Matthysse at 5, Aric Edwards at 4, Frank Crumb at 3, Lavel Bailey running at 2, and Caleb Lohner at 1, with players that need to play the most in this preseason. Let me know you guys' thoughts below in the comments, man. I appreciate y'all. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. And until the next video, go Broncos.